Most of our unhappy customers are upset due to system things that we can't change. How can we explain that to them without upsetting them further?
Wow, you're right. There are a lot of concerns we have with our system, and we're working on it to come to an agreement with all of our customers to help everyone out. If you have some specific ideas on what we could do to make this more conducive for everyone, we would be thrilled to take down that information and have our IT people work on that. That's a big one. Another one is, unfortunately, there are people who have cheated the system, so we've had to put these policies in place. And even though it's nothing that you would have done, it's other people who have made it an inconvenience for the rest of us. What would you suggest we do so that we can make sure that everybody is treated fairly? But go back and ask them for their input and ideas. 9 out of 10 times, they just need to vent and say, I think you did a bad job. Okay, you're right, I did a bad job, so how can I do it better? Well, you can't, but darn it, I wanted you to know you did a bad job. Well, I appreciate you pointing that out.
All right, and in a call center environment, do you have any ideas on the really great ways to teach an agent about tone? It seems to be based on opinion.
It is a lot on opinion. However, tape record the people and have them listen back. Put a mirror in front of them. Smile. It can be heard. Body language directly affects the tonality in the voice. If you have your agents sit in a room together and roll their shoulders forward, put their chin forward and down, and say, I'm having a great day, and then just sit up straight with their shoulders back and their chin level and say, I'm having a great day, their day doesn't change, but the believability in their tone changes. The power in their tone changes. The inflection changes immensely from the body language. Having worked at many call centers, I know we take the same call over and over again, and we begin to slouch in our chairs. And as we slouch, our tone begins to slouch, and it says, I don't care. Now, you don't want them to sit ramrod straight all day long because that's just uncomfortable. But if they have that mirror in front of them and smile in the mirror periodically, if you record their calls from time to time and have them sit and listen to themselves and say, is that somebody I would want to deal with on the phone, it will help them with their tonality a whole lot better. We sound different in our brains than we do out loud. I myself sound like Lauren Bacall in my mind. Out loud, not so much. So it's important that I physically hear that tonality and how it's coming across to others.
Okay, great. And if we do not mention that it is a company policy, that what can we say instead, especially if we cannot go with the customer's request? Say the customer wants a refund and we cannot offer it, or prorate, I'm guessing, a monthly bill.
Okay. Unfortunately, that's not something I can do. What I can do, however, is work with you to find a solution so this doesn't happen again. Unfortunately, that's not something I can do. Just tell them, unfortunately, that's not something I can do. In some cases, you may have to rely on policy, but saying, I'm afraid that's against policy as your first statement will set the customer off. But saying, unfortunately, that's not something I can do. My hands are tied on that. But I would like to see what I could do to help you so that you understand this in the future so that this doesn't happen again. But turn around and offer them assistance in whatever it is you can offer them assistance in.
Even if the assistance is just understanding how to avoid the problem in the first place.
That is correct.
That's great. That's great. All right, Karen, looks like we've got time for one or two more questions. Do you always give the customer options, or is it okay to ask them what they would like from us?
It definitely is great to ask them what they would like to see done. 9 out of 10, I say, but it's maybe 7 out of 10 times the customer will ask for less than you actually would offer. And if you say, what can I do to make this a better situation for you? Well, I just need somebody that will understand. Well, I definitely understand. It's amazing that we just feel helpless, and if we can find out what it is to do, we're in a better position. Now, if you know that your options are narrow, you want to give them options. If you have no options at all, ask them what you can do. If you have a gazillion options and you say, what can I do? Now you're kind of toying with it a little bit, because they might open you into areas and into a range that may cause you a little bit of concern, and they do their entire shopping list. If you can narrow it down a little bit more for them in many cases, however, it will help them come to a conclusion a whole lot faster.
All right, and what about those irate customers that go on a tirade screaming and hollering obscenities?
I can see that this is upsetting to you. I am committed to helping you. In order to do so, however, I need you to talk to me in a calmer tone of voice so that I can understand what the issue is. Or, I am committed to helping you with this, but I need you to speak to me in a more professional manner so that I can concentrate on what it is that I can do. Unfortunately, when you speak to me in this tone, it makes it difficult for me to really understand the true problem. Would you be willing to help me so that I can help you? Somehow you can turn it around like that. And you know what? None of us need to be abused. If they continue to be abusive, I am committed to helping you. When you're ready to talk to me and be helped, feel free to call back. Now, again, that's one you're going to want to go off a company policy with, because some companies will tell you never do that with the customer. But you'll find that more companies will say you don't need to be abused, and that you can tell a customer, if you cannot talk to me in an appropriate manner, we will have to we'll have to terminate this call, or I will have to ask security to remove you. Hopefully it doesn't come to that extreme of a measure, but there are some extreme customers where that is the only way you can go. But in most cases, if you tell them you're committed to helping them, but you need them to talk to you in a manner that you can understand the problem, they will calm down enough that you can hear them.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Karen. And thank you to everyone who submitted your questions today. To purchase a CD of today's training or to explore bringing Karen Marzo to your organization, you can contact our customer service department at 1-800-258-7246. Also, as a reminder to our Star 12 members, you can access this recording and over 100 other free e-learning topics on your exclusive membership site at www.star12members.com. Karen, thank you so much for all of your great information.
Thank you, and I appreciate being with everyone today.
On behalf of Rockhurst Web Conferencing Series and Karen Marzo, thank you for joining us today.